Spoken before the International Student Assembly, the President's words go to soldiers at home and afar.
You young Americans today are conducting yourselves in a manner that is worthy of the highest, proudest traditions of our nation. No pilgrims who landed on the uncharted New England coast, no pioneers who forced their way through the trackless wilderness showed greater fortitude, greater determination than you are showing now. Neither your own fathers in 1918, nor your fathers' fathers in 1863 or 1776 fought with greater gallantry or more selfless devotion to duty and country than you are now displaying on battlefields far from home. And what is more, you know why you are fighting. You know that the road which has led you to the Solomon Islands or to the Red Sea or to the coast of France is in fact an extension of Main Street. And that when you fight anywhere along that road, you are fighting in the defense of your own homes, your own free schools, your churches, and your own ideals. We here at home are supremely conscious of our obligations to you now and in the future. We will not let you down.
This convoy bound for Malta is steaming into a great ship and plane battle. Filmed from a British carrier, these are classic scenes of air attack. A rain of bombs. Anti-aircraft guns seam the sky with shell bursts aimed at the bomber. Shells from the cannon of Axis planes strafing the convoy. Enemy planes face a storm of fire. Crippled Axis bomber. Badly hit, she's a goner. An oil tanker, American, burning, but they put it out and she got to Malta. Patrol boats come out and depth bomb the U-boats. The convoy has fought its way through to the harbor at Valletta. Some ships damaged, like that one, hit by a bomb. The convoy suffered losses, but so did the enemy. The main thing is that Malta urgently needs supplies, and the convoy has brought supplies. Mass production at Akron, Ohio, of the famous Bofors gun, which made history in the great German Blitz attacks on London. Hundreds of Nazi planes were shot down by this type of weapon, which established itself as the best anti-aircraft gun in the world, up to 6,000 feet. It shoots with deadly accuracy and can fire from vertical to perpendicular, the barrel moving fast enough to follow a plane diving at 500 miles an hour. Turned out by the thousand, a versatile anti-aircraft gun which can also be used against tanks. And that's about as big as bombs come, a 2,000-pounder, 1 ton of concentrated destruction. At the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland, the Army is trying out some of its more powerful devastation. So let's go along and see the fireworks. At 10,000 feet, they release the 2,000-pound bomb and it flashes down to hit the ground like that. And another giant missile shows its power.
Thronging to see Hedy Lamarr and to buy war bonds. She's a star not only of motion pictures, but also of bond selling. Her record, $3.5 million worth to date, says she, smiling. And here's how she does it. At Newark, New Jersey, a big event in the bond-selling drive sponsored by the motion picture industry. And the letter is V. The oath to Tyrone Power, administered by Major W.A. Howard.
I, Tyrone Edmund Power,
I, Tyrone Edmund Power,
do hereby acknowledge to have voluntarily enlisted as a private. Do hereby acknowledge
that I voluntarily enlisted as a private
in the Volunteer Marine Corps Reserve for the duration of the national emergency. So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, Major.
The camera highlights in the world of sports.
On the famed center court at Long Island's Forest Hills this sunny summer afternoon, Louise Brough encounters the hard-hitting stylist Pauline Betts in an all-California final of the National Women's Championship. If past performance counts at all, the tilt should be a walkaway for the 19-year-old Miss Brough, for she's twice taken the measure of the Los Angeles girl this year. But inspired tennis is the unpredictable. While Louise takes the first set, Miss Betts thereafter hits the fiery peak of her season's form. Miss Brough, pounded to the baseline by the hard, accurate cross-court fire of a fighting opponent, goes down in the second set, taking but one game in 7. Her season's spotless record in grass competition is on the line in the third and crucial set. Pauline Betts serving match point. Seemingly without a flaw in a beautiful racket-wheeling display, the gal goes all out in a final winning surge. For the gallant Fighting Louise, the tempo is much too hot. Youth this afternoon comes out second best. The final tally gives Pauline Betts the crown 4-6, 6-1, 6-4. Rollins College boasts the women's national tennis champion for the coming year.
The Marines are on their way to attack the Japs in the Solomon Islands, a surprise attack. Right kind of bad weather, overcast skies concealing the convoy from enemy air observation. Warships heaving mightily in the heavy seas. Constant air protection by carrier-based planes and land-based flying fortresses. Into the landing boats, men and equipment, vehicles of war. This is how the Marines made their landings in the Solomon Islands and captured vital island bases from the enemy. Official Marine Corps motion pictures. It is a complete surprise for the Japs, and their hasty defense is quelled by bombardment, shelled by our warships. Fire and destruction wrought by high explosive clears the way for the capture of islands in the Solomons, strategic bases for the United Nations. And there is little Jap resistance to the landing of the Marines. They swarm ashore for the first offensive drive to hurl the Jap enemy from conquered lands. The Leathernecks promptly fortify a position taken from the Japs. This was one of their camps. Now it becomes a stronghold of the Marines as they establish themselves to expel the enemy from islands completely. And American sky power now occupies a captured Jap air base. The island of Guadalcanal, and the first American flag to fly over a conquered Jap stronghold.